Eora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel, in a cycle of reincarnation, watched over by the gods. Our gods, some of whom love us more than others. Your home, the Adiran Empire, is treasured by Wodica, Our Lady of Law and Vengeance, the burned queen. But our goddess has lately turned her eyes from us, and our empire has suffered revolts, famines, challenges to rightful rule. We lack a common purpose, but we could find it in the living lands, a rich and lawless island settled by fugitives, wanderers, exiles, and us. Yet the more we free this place from danger, the more the land fights back. And now, as our colonists crowd into Paradise, the last safe city, the locals find themselves crowded out. Many years ago, you were born to a family in our Adiran Empire, and in a rare turn of the wheel, you came into this world, a godlike, touched by a patron god in the womb. To some, a blessing; to many, an abomination. You grew up an outsider, but I saw potential in you. Potential and an opportunity. And within my court, you found purpose. Now I call upon your vow to our empire and name you my envoy. Venture forth in the name of your homeland and secure our future.
mitu! Ulthen!
Worthless?
Silmes mitum!
Silmes Urthen Roth!
Silmes mitum!
Huethi Silmes mitum! Lavarubion sik! Ulthen! Ulthen! Silmes mitu!
What do you know of the living lands? The rumors and tales are so vexing, they cannot be true, and yet they are. Those untamed wilds, overgrown with the most curious wonders and the most dreadful abominations. There beats a dark pulse within the heart of that soil. Something vile stirs beneath the earth, seething with rot and decay. A corruption growing beyond everything it touches. Its foul tendrils reach towards us, to lash out at the Empire itself. I command you, go to the Living Lands, find the roots, and if necessary, sever them. You are my one boy. Remember your vow. The hopes of an empire rest upon you.
Envoy, over here.
You're alive! Thank the gods I pulled you out the wreck when I did. I wasn't about to let the Emperor's envoy die on my watch. At least the journey's not completely lost. I heard the cannons. I couldn't... We... The name's Garrick, sir. Quarter gunner. 3rd Adheran Fleet. We spoke on the voyage. Never thought we'd end up like this. I've been here before. We've got an outpost on this island, but... maybe better off if it were. I saw flashes, Envoy. It weren't the storm that wrecked our ship. It was cannon fire, and it could only have come from that fort up the hill. It makes no sense. No one fires on their own countrymen, unless... That's what I'm afraid of too. In the meantime, you survived. That means we're not scuppered yet. As long as you're here, the Emperor's mission can still go ahead. Then I know the place to start. Adir's got an embassy in the port of Paradis. Once we make it there, we can regroup, figure out what to do next. I hate to say it, but the fort's probably our only chance of escape. We need supplies, and if our troops have been captured, they'll need our help. Thank you. I'll keep you safe. Those boards up there look old. A good hit and we can be on our way. Take that mace. It's no good to any of our crew anymore. At least some supply survived, for all the good it does. Ah, well, I don't suppose they were using that either. You look like a dab hand with that. I don't understand. Why would they fire on us, their own people? No use wondering. We've got to make sure our troops are safe. No! The fort's lit their distress beacon! We've got to hurry! Zara shouldn't be here. Haven't the troops been doing patrol? Great short work again! Come on, the fort's up ahead.
Yeah.
Tripwire. Good hands. How many of these damn things are there? Springberry's good. Those should rally us. Gods, it's a bloodbath. They've torn the place apart from the inside. Did they? Were they fighting each other? Envoy, I don't like this. Is this what they were like? I don't understand. How could our own people sink to this? I remember some of the soldiers praying around that Udra pillar. Hope it helped their souls find the beyond.
We rise from slumber. Is it you?
These used to be nice quarters. guard up. Hit it with everything you've got. Make short work of them. Thought I had your back. Guess you've got mine. Surely there's a way to clear those brambles.
Is someone there? Over here! Help! I'm locked in! About time. Oh gods! What's the matter with your face? Stay back. I'm not catching whatever's on your head.
Easy. He's a godlike.
You mean a god gave you that face? Touched your soul and everything?
That's right.
Never seen one of your kind before. I always heard folks say you were blessed. Looks more like a curse to me.
That's the Imperial envoy you're talking to. Show some respect.
The Imperial? Shite, I should have known you were a Deerans too. Funny you survived while all your friends here went belly up. That'd be a first. Adir's had their boot on Paradise since their first soldiers came.
'Cause the place is pure chaos.
Did you not think we liked it that way? I have to smuggle just to get anything past your damn checkpoints.
Paradisans will knife you in the back over a dirty look.
At least we don't go mad and slaughter each other. The day I came, I noticed the guards talking gibberish. Then the killing started. They went wild. Stabbed their mates in their sleep. I Heard it, all right. When the storm came, they fired the cannons. Their faces changed. That soldier in here tried to strangle me. I had to defend myself.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It doesn't make sense. What if she murdered that soldier and she's just trying to cover it up?
Wait. Look. We don't have to like each other, but we can all get out alive. I left my boat at the edge of the island. It should still be there. I don't see how the soldiers could have found it yet. You let me out, and all three of us can go to Paradise.
Envoy, I've tangled with Paradisian smugglers before. She'd say just about anything to get out of that cell. Her story's full of holes. What if the boat's not there? What if she turns on us?
For fuck's sake, be reasonable. Don't listen to him. Gods, that's the sanest thing I've heard all day. It's in the warden's room. They blocked it off when things went south. You can find a way in, though. You seem smart.
If we live to regret this...
Least you got around to trusting me eventually.
Adherent soldiers don't massacre each other. They just don't. Something caused this. To think they turned on each other like dogs. I can't fathom it.
They were bastards when they came here. All it took was time.
But adherents, we respect each other. We're raised to follow the rules.
What's the matter? Upset your kin are no better than anyone else?
Did your God give you that power too?
More coming. Stay down and don't get us killed.
do better with that grimoire than he did. Hope there's a fire spell in there. They make quick. Quick work at the brambles.
Rosy dry. Damn it. Just didn't bring a flint.
Mugren's Fury in a book. Got the high ground. How should we do this? Take them at range. Smart choice. Nobody knows.
Paradisans call them godless. Some kind of people who came here long ago.
I tried to tell them. Why wouldn't they listen? You can't kill me. No one can kill me. I'll swim across the sea.
I knew it. Whatever's on their faces, it gets into their heads.
I'm no expert on soul plagues, but whatever you came here to find, I'd say you found it.
It's uncanny.
No, it isn't. You're a godlike. He's... well, look at him. He's sick.
Who disturbs us? They stung at me. They wanted to prune my boughs. I was defending myself.
Steady yourself, please. We're only trying to help.
You're wasting your breath. He's gone.
You tread in the orchard. They sent orders for fire. I should have been free to drink of the land. They thought they could stop me. Vipers! Their venom stains my blade.
He can barely string a thought together. How could he have killed everyone?
He couldn't. Not like this. He's just the last one standing.
Trespassers! I become the breeze, the sun! And you return death to us!
Envoy, this could come to blows. Keep your guard up.
Feed the roots.
You're gonna regret this.
On sick!
Probably some noble who bought his commission. Now look at him.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least he's not suffering.
felt your presence like dew on a leaf. We wait. Heed us.
Envoy, you alright? Can you hear me? Different? I only asked whether you could hear me. Unless... Hang on. Did you hear another voice? What did it say?
Now your envoy's losing it.
No. I think something in the Ardra spoke to him. Not like this. I've been round Ardra my whole life, and it never spoke to me.
I don't think it spoke to anyone. Not even godlikes.
That's some gift. Sure seems like it. Now, we've still got to get to Paradise.
The boat's just up ahead.
Gods, I hope you're telling the truth.
This way.
Boat! There it is.
Thank the gods it's still here. Get on.
There, in the distance. It's Paradise. So, the smuggler wasn't lying.
My name's Alora, you know. Thanks. I've enjoyed not being dead.
Look, if this is the soul plague the Empress sent you to find, we have to stop it. You have to stop it, no matter what it takes.
I'd heard rumours about folk changing out in the hinterlands. I thought they were just that. You know, stories. I never imagined it'd be like this.
I don't know how, but if anyone can find a way, it's you.
Will you get on before I leave without you?
Aye, onward to Paradise. Never thought I'd be glad to sail here with a smuggler.
If anyone asks, you never met me.
Suppose this is where I leave you then. I owe you my life, Envoy. I won't soon forget what you did. I don't know. It's all just sinking in. I hope the folks at the embassy know where to find a good, strong drink. Well, it's the Living Land's biggest port. People come from all over. Not all of them are Adir's friends.
Wonder why?
You'll be fine. After the fort, I figure you can survive anything. You don't have to. Just go up the pier. I imagine they've sent someone official-like to take you there.
Must be nice, eh?
Same to you. You'll make the Emperor proud. I'm sure of it.
Look, I'll no thank, but you saved my life. That counts for something. To me, anyway. I don't push her luck. Not all of them, but it's not a great way to make friends. Give Paradisans a chance. That's why they came here in the first place. Try not to get killed. Nah, I'm kidding. Just don't go around acting like you own the place, alright? Hope we don't run into each other. Still, take care of yourself.
This is your final warning, Kai. One more, and I put a bullet in your leg.
And here I thought we were getting along. You know, if you just tell me where the claviture is, I'd get out of your hair.
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And he's late. Huh, probably died at sea. Good riddance. Wait, you're the... Fuck.
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so...
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger. No, there's some kind of blight in the wilderness and rumors of plague. They went to investigate. Nature has a mind of its own in these parts. When the ecosystem changes, we ask ourselves how and why.
Leaderless and rudderless is the natural state of things in Paradise anyway. Keeps things interesting.
Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So, we made up some new ones.
Sorry, Envoy, but no one's here to receive it.
Nonsense. There's a small army of pickpockets, smugglers, and scoundrels between those walls who'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Just ignore him.
Where did you say they went? Because I've got an idea.
They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up? The Rowatine Navy didn't teach me fancy words, but I did learn how to count.
Kai, before you go, please keep in mind that the Envoy is a respected member of the court. Make sure he comes back alive, or the Steel Garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
You tell me, Envoy. The Adirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. They're an order of religious cutthroats, sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the Steel Garrote? Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you. Wait, you know the Inquisitor? Dare I ask how? After? Gods help us. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the burned queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the Deadfire, and death spat her back out.
Right behind you. We've got to find your ambassador and my claviger before something else does. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air. Bargrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Dirans will outnumber. Think, dimwit. He's nice and cozy.
Hey! Better watch your step.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon. I suggest you take a look at my... From legitimate sources, clearly. From traders and adventurers, mostly. And a few used pieces from people down on their luck. Apologies, friend. People see me selling weapons on the hawk, I assure you. All of my wares. Well,
The living lands are a dangerous place. Heading out to the wilds? You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. I don't mind him. What are you interested in? Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradise. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lied to the Garrote for you. Do I have to spell it out?
What harm could some new armor do? Look good and stay alive.
Welcome to Dawnshore, Traveler. My name is Dagerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Volter told you. I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was... To be honest, strange...
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, man.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind. I can't believe how rude everyone is around here. It wouldn't kill them to think about it, at least. How hard could it be to find a watcher? How did you... Actually, maybe I should talk to you instead. I'm clearly under some kind of curse. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do? Why did they do anything? They've probably eaten all my food and destroyed my supplies. I don't know what else. First, my ship gets attacked by pirates. Then none of my plants will take. Now this happens? And they won't let me into Paradise to sort it out? The militia. They're scared of some plague. At least that's what they say. I wonder if it's really the Adirans. Keep us out and themselves in. I should never have come here.
Come here for a better life and find a worse one. Wish I hadn't heard that before.
I wanted to grow a little food. They never... Gods. Is it in the crops?
It's hard to put... I'd heard it was dangerous, but the Glenfathan wilds were... Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't... Come back when... I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're standing in my light.
Leave me alone.
I can't help it. After what happened with Kalisha.
I know, dear, but worrying isn't going to do anything.
Oh, you must be the Imperial envoy that just arrived. Hello.
Darling, you don't think that...
I don't know. I'm sure you're very busy, envoy. But do you know of any other ships from Adir that are slated to arrive soon? Is it that easy to tell?
We're waiting for our son, you see.
I just hope he doesn't meet it.
After we lost our little girl. Last we heard, she was traveling to Gilded Vale to check in on Alvra, our other daughter.
But she never made it. We can only assume the worst. You're right. Thank you.
Apologies, envoy, but we need to keep an eye out for our son. Be safe out there. The living lands are unlike anywhere else in Aora.
Still, there is something to be said for the stability. I'm grateful for Adir. I was getting tired of the lawlessness.
Move along. Sometimes I wonder whether it's worth the fight.
The militia have closed Paradise to newcomers, so where should I go?
That lighthouse has been under repair since Adiran ships began filling the harbor. Coming in hot.
In search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so. There's a problem.
Very good. I will remember. You will be just
Time to resupply.
Right. Well, good luck.
First get leaves, his letters won't turn up. Que larde! I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradise.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? I apologize. My curiosity got the better of me. Surely you see, though, a god-like envoy, you are quite unusual. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? I assume that's a no? Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my age? Average build? Now, if he were a river, I could describe him perfectly. His name is Girm. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. I'm not assuming the worst yet. I'm sure he's just indisposed.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern routes. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradise Island. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well, that's our marching orders then. I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you, Envoy. You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Steenrick, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. I should ask you for some good campfire stories later. Good to know. Though, people around here have reason enough to be twitchy as it is. Talk of the plague inland has folks stirred up. More than usual. Is that why the Emperor sent his personal mystic to the Living Lands? Besides curiosity as to why a foreign mystic was sent to the frontier, I was in rough shape when I came to Paradise a few years back. Claviger Amond helped me get settled here. If he's gotten into trouble, the least I can do is help him out of it. Especially if he's following up on rumors of the Dream Scourge. Not much. It's hard to separate fact from rumor. I've heard it changes people, makes them confused, disoriented, and eventually violent. No one seems to know exactly how it starts. And here I was hoping for good news. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Stilgarrode paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Claviger accompanied your ambassador. Exactly. Paradise has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomad people who tend to be But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Just be careful where you say that. That's the kind of talk that may get people thinking you've got the Dream Scourge. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. They say people afflicted with it have strain. What starts as a light daze become, and then fungal. So Dream Scourge. No, Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. It's the gateway to the Living Lands. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sins, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventure. Don't get me wrong, it's a great city. In part because it's great at wind. The Living Lands means a hard, but first, the folks who say that either last the longest or the shortest. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be. If you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. That's what some fear. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew. Shoot. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rowatayan expatriates. You're pretty nosy, aren't you? Don't be. Things just didn't work out there. Let's leave it at that. I joined up with the Rowatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Starting out, it was exciting, purposeful, and I believed in our mission. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rowatayan. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden. Yeah, the Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rowatayan. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. They figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. By the time I came to the Living Lands, Yeah. Though, in a lot of ways. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. I figured. What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth? Or the striking blue of my scales? I usually hear that from someone who's enjoyed the height or position to fully appreciate it, but I'll never turn down a compliment. As rare as we are in many parts of the world, it's nice to be appreciated as something other than a magnificent bruiser. Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rowatai's hardly a hospitable environment. That's where you get the pop. Then you must have come during our sunny season, lashed by storm. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make our coral masons have built. For all our shortage of fertile soil, we value struggling. It's been hard won across some of the traditionalists worry that same as traditionalists everywhere. Sure. What's on your mind? Night, Envoy.
Nice to see you again.
Save some skates for the rest of us.
Jolly boys! Seems luck is on my side. Tildy at the bathhouse, more like. I saw her give you those lucky dice. Oh, I think you're just jealous that she likes me more than you. If she likes you that much, why is she still charging? What is it about bosuns? The one on my last voyage cheated too.
Another recruit. By the flame.
Well, in case you failed to notice, God, I've always wanted to thrash one of your kind in a fight. Spar. You mean besides the thrill? Then we Yes, summon in Malgren's name.
This one's mine. Let's see what you got.
All right, I need you have kind.
There are worse ways to end a fight.
It's clear I underestimated your prowess. Fierce as a Rathoon you are, envoy. Now for your prize. Our surplus includes a large hammer, an arquebus, a spear, and a wand. What say you, huh? Aha, the blessed firearm. Its flames burn brighter and faster than any I've seen before. With it you will destroy your enemies. The arquebus, then? It's no god hammer bomb, but it will serve you well.
What harm could some new armor?
Time to resupply?
Well,
If this can hold me, you'll be fine. Just don't look down. Looks like that broke off of something. Wonder where it goes. They weren't much of an artist, but I think that's upstream by the park room wall. Well, nothing ventured, envoy. Zarabs. They may be small, but they'll overwhelm you if you're not careful. We make a good squad. After your voyage. Voyager. It must be nice to spend the night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is. Beautiful view from these cliffs. Real long way down, too.
Venture past the palisades at your own risk. We've already had to move back the palisades line a few times.
Good fighting.
Spook you.
Don't mess me up!
This is Dehangan's place. Or was. It's the Zarab's now. What's that Zarab doing out here all by himself? Friendly Zarab. Don't see that every day. Of course, you don't see them fighting their friends every day either. I don't speak... I agree. He's not hurting anyone. What made him come this way, though? Quiet as the depths. Anything juicy? Maybe it has something to do with that wall painting in the other room. Let's check it out. Another one down. Take your best shot. I'm no art critic, but I've never seen a mural like that. Looks like an elf and Zarab holding hands. What do you see? Why don't we ask Dehangan about it? It's her house. She ought to know something.
Please tell me I can go home now. And you found the leak? I should have figured I wouldn't be able to fool someone like you. Have you ever felt aimless? Like you ought to have a purpose? Like you'd do anything to find out why? That's a stupid question, isn't it? Of course you'd understand. An animancer told me that I might have half a soul. I finally had an answer. The question was, who got the other half? I thought if I could meet this person and see what they were like, and then I came here and found a... Maybe, but it's not like mine. How could we I'm so... I can't go back and I can't go forward. Are you serious? The mystic on my ship said the same thing. But what does it mean? And if it's my soul twin, maybe it agrees with me. I'll go. I'll be brave. I'll find it. I really hope you're right. Oh, I forgot. You still deserve to be paid for your time, if nothing else. I didn't think... Well, it's nice to get help from an Adiran. I'll say that much. Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Stranglroot is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Earth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. They say the Emperor sent his personal mystic. I wonder if they can see into the future. I bet they can.
Your reputation precedes you.
It's all above my rank, but it means High Crown's taking our situation out here seriously. I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys. If you're going to be sick, I'd recommend that patch of grass downwind. Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. It didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends now. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. I'm more than happy to answer any question. He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. Less competent than he seems. No, Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Clavager keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though, reportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like he and the ambassador make a good pair. Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Woduka. At least I understand why the burned queen is so pissed. Ludwig runs the Steel Garrote, Boudica's Order of Paladins. The only thing they care about is their burnt queen. There's honor among thieves, Envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography? I do know a few things. No, none. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn. And happily, too. So, if I want a servant of the Adirian Empire, I know animants. Miscreants. Wouldn't mind having a drink with them. They're under siege right now, though. I mean the Pargunin dwarf. Once again, I'm there. You know what they say about continents. Little bit of everything here. Poison swamps, deserts. I got... I don't know. I mean, I know. Although, I guess some folk think godlike. Still, I think there are that it lives up to its name. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. I think the Living Lands won't want to be the least. Ask them then. About Adi. Kind of you to ask, Envoy. The truth is, not really. Break its trust, and well, actually, just take a look down the road. You'll see the last and the ones before them. The Strangleroot is hungry. Careful if you're headed. Pargrunin beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Mountain to know where the best seafood is. Pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them.
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them?
Right behind you.
Incoming Zara. Next one's mine. Chance.
Those Arabs must have been scavenging supplies too.
Who's ready for more?
I think there's something on the upper floor. We might be able to reach it from outside. Oh, look, Paradise and Ladder. When heated, the resin forms a hard coat that strengthens weapons and armor.
Yeah.